The ruined keep is a dark, looming mass against a darkening sky. The storm that was raging is gone, leaving only a light autumn rain in the heavy heat. In the darkness, the occasional cry from a bird or a monkey deep in the jungle breaks the silence. Otherwise, the air is still, as glimmers of violent red appear and disappear amongst the houses below. The party stand on a muddy road, peering down into the darkness, trying to make out the approaching riders of the forgotten tribe. Zaymar has a spyglass pressed to his one good eye as he mutters reports of riders charred to the bone, their skeletal form glowing a deep red on top of horses as they trot steadily away from Trillen. In the harbour lies a trireme, also charred to the bone of its timbers, roiling slightly in the waves, just a glimmer of red rocking on the water below. Zaymar reported 40 riders or so, making their way out of Trillen, but it's hard to see. Darkness lies all around the party, and only a slight glow from inside the ruined keep shows any sign of life. As if aware of the dread riders outside, the village has snuffed out its lights, and a strange silence has descended on it. Perhaps because of the wall of darkness that towers over the harbour, dampening all sound. The riders make no noise as they move, and only the quiet reports from Zaymar disturb the night. And that is where we'll pick up the session. And if you'd like to unmute yourselves, I have an utterly terrifying image that Mr. Harris did for us, which I will now show you, of what you are facing. So that is, if I line that up a bit, that is what is riding up the hill currently.
40 of them.
40 of them, yeah. So, I've just meddled with TTS to get that in there. It's actually a little bit larger than we need.
The largest.
Yeah.
Yeah, please let them not be that big.
Yeah.
So you're actually currently gathered on the road near the wall of the ruin keep. The last thing that happened was Adalbert spoke to Rainer and said, can you fight, effectively? And she went invisible. So hence she's currently blue. But the first thing I would like you to do is everyone roll an intelligence check.
Thought we were going straight into initiative there.
Yeah, same. Oh, I didn't realise. Oh, okay, well, I don't know what dice I'm going to use chunks this week.
21.
9.
Oh,
22.
natural 20.
Wow.
Plus, I don't think I get anything to intelligence.
18.
Yep, nope. Natural 20, that's it.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm plus 2. I'm plus 2, 22. Sorry.
That's right. Okay, so the Forgotten Tribe is well known to some of you, and for Alithia and Adalbert, you've run into them a couple of times, but you don't know them that well. However, all of you, apart from Horathia, recognise that the Forgotten Tribe is a very disciplined, well-trained unit, and that they usually travel in squads of 4. So when they're leaving the village, they're all splitting up into single units. So they're clearly doing that for some reason. One additional roll before we start. Alithia, could you roll religion?
Ooh. That is not something I'm trained I was going to say that's not something I'm trained in, and the dice know me. That is a not very good at all. 3.
Wow.
A
Okay.
natural 3.
Okay. So Baha is currently not with you, but he will be joining you shortly. In the meantime, you are looking down at these riders. For most of you, it's very hard to see anything that's going on. As I mentioned in the beginning, there's just little red specks moving between the houses to tell you where they're going. They are all breaking up into single groups. One of them appears to be travelling very quickly and is winding their way up the road towards the keep ahead of everyone else.
Right, everyone get under cover. We only got an advantage if they can't see us. And besides, if they ain't bothering trilling, we're going to let them go. Hear me?
That works for me.
If they go on a Rockerton, they ain't exactly going too quick. We could catch them. I am more bothered about the ship in my fucking harbour.
Is the... Oh, sorry, can I ask a meta question? Is the holy water I asked for here yet?
So the shrine is by the fort. The fort is on the other side of town. Between here and the shrine, there are 40 Forgotten Tribe on horses. So no, the holy water has not arrived yet.
Rath is starting to move into the jungle to conceal himself.
Okay, so you heading towards the keep or the other way?
I'm unclear on the map as to... We're on the road, aren't we?
Yeah, so this is the road here, and then on the right-hand side is the wall of the ruined keep. The gates is here.
All right, I want to be able to see if they enter the grounds of the keep, so I want to go opposite.
Okay.
But in the trees, and obviously I'm making sure Brian comes with me. He's got to stay close.
All right, so you're heading over there. Okay.
I'll follow Herethia because he makes a nice meat shield.
Right there, meat shield.
Seeing which way the others go. So the over to the right is on the map is the ruined keep, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Is there any way to, what I'm tempted to do actually, is there, I know that the curtain wall is broken down in sort of various places. I'm wondering whether I could quickly scale it and then get over to the other side, or sort of be able to find a place where there's some reasonable level of cover on the other side of the wall. I don't know if there's like a place where it's like broken down, where it might be sort of leaning in, where I might be able to sort of lie down or like stay on top of the wall.
The wall is not too bad shape. However, there is an area here which you could scale quite easily, because you can use the trees and the foliage and so on to get your grip. So you could jump over there. Or this one's a bit harder, but closer.
The others are, if that's closer, I might actually try the closer one over here. So yeah.
Right. So do you want to roll acrobatics to jump over?
Thank you. I just saw. Thank you so much.
14.
Hi, Vivian.
Oh, hi, Voon. Thank you for raiding. Welcome to the Ruin Keep.
Yeah, so I will scale the wall. I shout out to Samita behind. Samita, are you? I assume you're still there. Do you know how to use the javelin?
So I was indeed intending to follow Zaymar, so I'm, behind him. But
lurch slightly as I hear this voice.
Yeah, so I'll
much closer than I was expecting as I was shouting all the way back over. The voice appears next to him.
In a rather quiet voice. Just say very calmly, I'm afraid javelins are outside of my expertise.
Then, well, if you have to try anyway, just make sure when you take it out, there's a small button on the side of the ring. Once you have it on your finger, hold it out in front of you horizontally. Otherwise, when it expands in your hand, it'll take your face off. Right, I'm going up there. And then I turn around and just start scaling the wall.
Okay, what was your roll?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, so pushing off from the tree right next to the wall, you sort of do a Jackie Chan move. You sort of dung off the tree onto the wall and then over. Are you jumping right down, or are you going to crouch on the wall?
I'm going to crouch and see if there's a spot on top of the wall where I can at least get some level of cover.
Okay.
So the idea would be to sort of like pop up, do something, attack or whatever, and then if necessary, and then sort of duck back down below again.
All right. And meanwhile, Samita, what are you doing? Sorry, before you answer that, just in case anyone's watching and getting confused, Samita goes by two names, Samita and Raina. So if I accidentally say Raina, that's why. But I'll try and stick to Samita.
So she will actually, as Zaymar is jumping up, she'll just kind of not shout, but at least call after him, like, "Help me up!" And she'll attempt to scale the same way, but hopefully there's a hand waiting at the end to help her up in case she loses her grip, as she's not quite as nimble as.
I turn around and once I'm on the top, I was actually going to secure a rope to the top if possible. So I'll just smack in some I've got some pitons, so I'm going to tap in one and secure a rope, and then I'll call out if Ellie is still standing there in the middle.
Doesn't look like she's just waiting for them.
No, Max is patiently letting everyone else make their moves.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to take a stand in the middle of the road and go past me.
You shall not pass with your little staff. Dunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't have a death wish. I am going to follow the sneaky chaps.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like Zaymar is offering to help you get up as well. So Samita, you just need to use the rope. So it's a straight acrobatics as well, with advantage. Or athletics, I don't know which is better for you, actually. It's up to you.
Yeah, definitely acrobatics. So that's going to be an 18 with advantage.
Okay. So yeah, you grab hold of the rope and then push off from the nearby tree quite easily. Same question for you. Are you crouching on the wall or are you going over?
So for the moment, I'll tap Zaymar once so he knows that I'm up there, and then I'll crouch beside him.
Okay, cool. If it becomes relevant, I will remove your token. But for now, we'll just keep you visible on here.
I'm going to send you a quick message.
Okay, cool. Alithia, same thing. Are you going to grab the rope and try and get up?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to grab the rope. I will do other stuff later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So roll acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Acrobatics, although that wasn't very good. So sorry, I think it's a plus.
I'll pull the
12.
rope up once she gets on it.
Okay. You do have advantage. Sorry, I should have said.
Okay. I bet you it's probably going to be still a 12. Oh no, 17.
That's great. Yeah. Again, you find it fairly easy with the rope, and a hand held out by Zaymar and the tree to leap up. Are you staying on the wall? And which side? Are you going this way or this way?
Is there like a little ledge, like, because the wall I'm imagining is quite rocky and
yeah, the wall isn't finished very well. Yeah. There's bricks missing and up and down.
So is there a way that I can kind of go behind the wall but still look over?
That's what I'm trying to do.
The wall isn't massively thick, so it's about 1.5 feet in width. So it's not something that you can't hide behind the wall itself. But there is
if
foliage there, so
Yeah, what if they brace their feet on some foliage? Not,
Yeah, no, what I mean
Yeah.
is like I want to be on the other side of the wall.
No, you'd have to
is there
jump
no way-
down. You'd have to jump down
Okay,
to do that. Yeah.
Fine, no problem. Where do I want to be?
So once she's up, I am going to Ellie get out of the way. I pull out the rope quickly, and then I'm going to lower it down the other side.
Okay.
It's like if we need to get down, just drop. But if they move into the keep, then this is our way out.
Anyway, Ellie, which side of Zamar did you go?
So the one furthest away from the screen.
So,
Is that right? Left, right.
well,
right.
nearest. Yeah. Okay. You're
No,
going
no,
over here.
furthest away. The other side. The other side.
Okay.
Left, sorry.
North.
I don't know my left and right, guys. Sorry.
That's right. Okay, so Zamar's then throwing a rope over, allowing the others to climb down. Meanwhile, the galloping rider has appeared over the ridge of the hill and is slowing down. The rider, as Zamar described to you, has bright, glowing red eyes, and as they approach, you can see that their horse is also similar to them in the sense that the bones of the rider and the horse are still covered in charred, blackened flesh, and underneath, instead of white bone, it's dull red, glowing bone, as if it's been heated by something. The rider has a semi-crescent shield on their left arm, and there's something unusual in the middle. Everyone roll perception to see if you can work out what it is.
Unusual in the middle of the
Shield.
Sorry.
4.
3. We're on the wrong
19.
side of the road.
That's
19,
what it
did you say?
is.
Yeah.
The question: do I have disadvantage on perception because I don't have dark vision?
What's the range? Yeah, it's still quite far out, so yeah, that's a good shout. You would be at disadvantage. And so is
an 8.
Zamar, of course.
Yeah. It was going so well until I rolled disadvantage.
Yeah, Zamar's a pirate. He has one eye.
Thank you.
A messenger pigeon perched on his shoulder.
Yeah, when
No
you're already
parrots,
at
only
the
pigeons.
disadvantage, so the absence of dark vision doesn't actually hurt, does it?
Okay, so those who got over 15, the middle of the shield has a wooden carved face on it, over which has been stretched flesh and then nailed to the wooden boss. I think so.
Wait, a real face?
Yep.
Like skin face? Like
Yep.
psycho? Oh.
Harathia and Zamar, you both got lower than 15, right?
Oh yeah, much lower.
Like mute.
Like lower than 5.
Okay. So, Alithia, you recognize that it's an elven face from its rather darkened appearance. Even though this isn't charred flesh, this is normal flesh. You'd say it's probably Forgotten Tribe as well.
Is Zamar near me? Is he busy?
You can see Zamar, I think.
He's right next to me, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think Zamar's hidden yet. Well, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I'm just
I
gonna
am
grab.
about to.
Yeah, before he does that,
I've
I'm
been
gonna.
sorry, Mads, I've been assuming
Gonna-
we've been hiding, but carry on.
I'm gonna grab his arm and be like, Zamar, oh my god, they've been peeling faces off and sticking them on their shields.
What's new? They used to do scalps on the shield. We've seen scalps on their shields and armor before.
This is a face. It's a person.
as the person approaches, they galloped up the hill and came to this distance from you and slowed down instantly. They are now riding at a trot, and you can see all around them is black mist billowing out from both the horse and the rider, and settling down onto the ground and kind of trailing off in effectively a circle around them. And as they move, a familiar silence moves with them, one that you've seen the princess show previously. So their horses. Sorry, Sam. The horses' hooves make no noise as they move towards you.
As they move close to the, I'm going to try and whisper before the sound hits us. Remember that we have seen Forgotten Tribe members disappear and reappear in other places before. And I'll say that just loud enough so that hopefully Samita will hear. But then I'm going to sort of like duck down and basically hide. And I will help Alethea as my action to hide as well.
Okay. Everyone who's hiding, roll.
Oh, yeah. Can I? Oh no, I have to do hide as an action. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Number.
Everyone
have
roll
advantage due to invisibility.
stealth. Yes, you do.
I have advantage due to the help.
Yes, you do. Meanwhile, what's happening over at Adalbert and Horathia's side? It's been quite busy on the wall, but...
Well, Horathia's not saying anything, but he's hiding and trying to make sure that Bran is hidden. And he's keeping a beady eye on what he can see, which is probably not very much.
Okay.
He might be able to see the glow, mightn't he?
Yeah. For those that have just joined us, Bran is a direwolf, a companion of Horathia, and looks a bit like this. Somebody described him as cuddly, but he tends to have quite an angry expression on his face.
He's a fluffy boy.
Where is he?
Really not.
Just on the stream.
Oh, I see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's have these stealth rolls.
Yeah, I'm at disadvantage. There's no way around that, is there?
No, I'm afraid not, no.
It's a shame, because that means I've got 8.
Okay.
21.
Okay. Alicia?
Oh, sorry. 10.
10.
With advantage.
Zamar?
I got 12.
We're doing shit. We're gonna die.
Samita?
Son of a bitch.
24.
You're invisible. How come you're hiding as well as? Oh my god.
Okay, and Bran. Bran in the house. Bran is well hidden, almost impossible to see unless you knew he'd sneaked into the undergrowth.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Somebody exactly put in the chat.
So the rider comes to about here and stops. They're pretty close now, and you can smell this distinctive burning flesh. And you can see on their belt there is a handle of solid iron that has 3 chains hanging from it, quite short 1-foot chains, also of iron. And at the end of the chains are points, metal points. Roll history, both Horathia, Zamar, and Adalbert.
Thanks.
Strong point.
Really?
And it's definitely not strong point today.
History 21.
Okay.
Does a 5 make it?
I can top that. 3.
Oh my goodness. Can we please start rolling that? This is not the best time.
Yep.
I've forgotten what Johnny's character's called. Matt.
Yeah, I was saying. I won't say Imelda. It wasn't Imelda. Elvira.
I mean, now that we're discussing it, I don't need to send you a message, but
I know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So they got that hanging from the belt. Apart from that, they have no weapons. As they stop, they gradually rotate their head left and right, as if searching for something. They don't look in your direction particularly. And then they reach forward, put their both hands on the neck of the horse, or at least on the bones of the horse's neck, and then slide off to the ground, and kneel down where they stopped, and then start investigating the ground.
Great.
I can't say anything because there's silence, right?
So now that it's close enough, you realise that whatever this magical silence around it is, it doesn't reach you. It's not as large as the princess's silence.
Okay. So I've got these wrappings around my hands, and I'm gonna like mutter, "There's nothing," and then I'm gonna like, show the symbols on my hands towards it because I have no holy water.
So I see what she's doing here.
Probably, but even I'm unclear as to what she's doing here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, are you breaking cover?
No, I'm not breaking cover. I'm in the cover, but like I've got 3 straight lines in my hands that are evocative of.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to give it away, but yeah. And then I just kind of like, and they're on the front and back as if like they've been seared through, and I just kind of hold them up and say, "Please help," in a quieter voice. "Please help."
Can Francis see any of the other ones following up the road behind yet?
No.
He's gonna. Actually, can I see Adult Bear? Has he done a good stealth job or not?
It did amazingly.
Child. Not you. Adalbert did really well, so well that even though you knew he was attempting to hide, he's disappeared into the undergrowth as well. And don't forget, it is night. You do have still have difficulties seeing. There's no colours to see with. So, but going back to Ilithia, I think what everyone was on edge waiting to see is if you were casting a spell. I'm assuming the answer is no, and you were just
no.
Okay, good. I needed to clarify that. I didn't think you were, but
no spell.
I had to check.
No spell.
Okay,
just
cool.
doing a last ditch, like ah.
No, that's absolutely fine. The rider then grabs the horse by the neck again and starts moving it a bit further down. So far it looks as though they haven't found anything. They only move a few feet and then stop and kneel and start searching the ground again.
When they're searching, can I see if... What I want to do is I want to look to see exactly how they're searching.
Mm-hmm.
Is because we were stood on that road. So if there was some kind of trace, that was where we were. Have they got to the point where we were standing? Because that was further up.
Yeah, so they first did a search kind of close to where you were. It's a muddy road. It's constantly raining. It never stops raining. So the mud itself is quite wet, and therefore prints are quite obvious. but there's a lot of them. This road is fairly well travelled. People come back and forth from the keep a lot, so it's not easy seeing any tracks. However, your tracks are fresh and fairly clear, so you're not quite sure what's going on.
Yeah, so whatever they were looking for, it wasn't our tracks.
As far as you can tell. But back to your earlier question, either roll insight or perception, whichever you prefer, to try and work out how they're searching.
Will my perception be a disadvantage?
Yes.
Well, I might just roll insight on this one.
I'm giving you the choice.
You're most kind. That would be a 14. Not the best roll again, but...
So you recognise the motions, even though this is essentially a skeleton covered in charred flesh. There is no difference between how it moves and acts and how it used to when it was alive. So it's searching using its eyes. It's feeling into the mud to check for the tracks it's looking at. It's moving bits of grass and twigs and things just to see what's disturbed them. It's definitely looking for something.
Can I want to signal to where Adalbert was when I last saw him, but I want to do it so that it's completely not observable by this skeleton thing.
Yep.
And I'm just going to hold up my hand, and I'm going to twiddle the ring that I'm wearing.
Okay. So the way that I do stealth is personal. So if there's multiple enemies, you might have to roll stealth twice because each person might have a different perspective. That also means that if you want to show somebody else something like Harathia is doing, then it's up to Adalbert to be able to see it. So I think in this case, roll perception, Adalbert, just to see if you see it. But your stealth roll is unaffected, even though it was crap anyway.
Perception. 16.
Okay. So yeah, Adalbert sees your gesture.
And says, "Nice ring."
So I know what Harathia wants, but I don't know whether I want to do it. I'm nice and hidden. If we're gonna die, we're gonna die. I cast Fall of Echoes.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's verbal somatic.
Yes.
Are you going to try and keep
Do
your
as quietly
chanting?
as possible.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Roll. What should we do? Roll stealth. You're trying to merge it with the sound of the trees behind you. Unfortunately for you, it's not windy, so yeah, the DC is a bit lower.
16.
Can I, because out of sheer desperation, sort of make a point on behalf of our poor beleaguered party? This skeleton thing is in a zone of silence.
Yes, that's true.
So I'm hoping that means that you can't hear anything.
Except for the fact that didn't work for Sturrock.
Well, I mean, Harathia knows nothing about magic, and I'm making a meta point just because we're desperate.
No, it's a fair thing to point out. Your experience with the Astravi is that they don't seem impaired by not being able to hear anything. Anyway, 16 was it? Okay. All right. You have cast Hall of Echoes. Who are you adding to your spell?
Harathi is aim at Ellie and Samita.
Okay. Would you like to describe the spell to some of the newer viewers?
Yes. So, Hall of Echoes, I cast it, and then everyone suddenly gets a sense of calm and a welcoming invitation into what for a long time I used to call my mind palace because I forgot the words. But it's annoyingly, we met a princess last week who, when I visited her Hall of Echoes, was a palace of wonders, and Adalbert is insanely jealous of this. Instead, his Hall of Echoes is a mental space for everyone to communicate. Takes a turn to speak in and listen to the messages shared between everyone. But when people arrive, they're greeted by a sense of calm, of splendor. If Vivaldi could be playing in the background, it would be. But yeah.
All right. So you've all been added to the Hall of Echoes.
Right. Zaymar, I want to know what the rest of them are doing. Any chance you get the other part? Well, actually, I don't exactly know where you are, do I? Any chance you get a view on the town?
Not sure. I might be able to shift. I think so from up here. I'll turn around and see if I can scan down to the town. See where, just using the spyglass.
Using a spyglass, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the angle up on the wall, you've got a very good view. You can see the occasional glimmer of red of the bones of the riders and the horses pass between houses and trees, but they're all spreading out and gradually making their way either westward or southward. There's a couple that will be going in an angle close to you, but essentially behind Harathia and Adalbert. So, as I mentioned, they're spraying out. One came to the keep. That one seems to be on the edge of their pattern. Everyone else is inside that pattern. So there'll be two behind Harathia and Adalbert later, but they're trotting. This one galloped.
Okay, I'll indicate exactly where they are and describe them and describe the layout for them, and then I'll turn my gaze and just see if I can spend my time studying the ship to see what's happening down there, and then see if I can report back. I sent you a quick message, so just what I'm looking out for, things like that.
Did you include Brian in this thing?
No.
Why the fuck not?
He generally doesn't respond.
No, but he can hear us. That'd be kind of useful, wouldn't it?
He can follow you.
Sorry. Samita, are you here?
Yes.
Have you seen any of these things before? Is there anything that you can offer us?
Do they fit any description that I've ever heard of, Dungeon Master?
No. Roll history.
Okay. That's a 3, so that's going to be a total of 6.
You've not even heard of the Forgotten Tribe.
Okay.
So whenever I mention that name, unless somebody else has, then you've not heard of them.
Okay. No, I haven't. Can this thing be communicated with?
I don't fucking talk to the thing.
Have you ever tried?
Oh, look. Hello, Mr. Dead fucking evil glowing thing. Don't mind us. Can you please piss off? Because we don't want you here.
It's essentially what you say to your sword, isn't it?
Yes, it came alone to the keep, where it might expect a fierce defense. Do you know what it's looking for? If not you?
I don't know. It's looking for something. I wonder if there's some kind of trace of something else that passed this way.
I think they're all looking for something.
Yes, but why here?
Seen things like this before, Bertie.
So I didn't hear that, Mads.
Have you seen things like this before, Bertie?
No, but there is one thing which is familiar. On its waist there is a chain with three leads. My brother, he had a companion, and when she used this, it would cause her immense pain, but then she could control the strands. So
What was it? Like a whip or something?
essentially,
But with
yes,
three-
but with greater control.
how far? Like, does it stretch out a long way? Is it magic?
Definitely magic. As to the distance, I'm unsure, but keep your distance.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
Blame
if,
our
I,
regrets.
if I was in charge of
Blame
these
our
fuckers,
regrets.
and I knew there was a possible dragon in Trillian, and that dragons are easily corrupted, I might fancy my chances of getting her on my side. Could she be looking for traces of the princess?
If
It's
so,
highly probable.
we'll find out when they move to the. How far away are they from the landing zone where the princess landed?
The tracks for the princess landing would be further back, so along where it's already searched. But those tracks were extremely badly broken up by 50 honor guard,
Yeah.
who, after holding position with 50 Astravi, then all sort of left their positions and have now gone over to the princess's, Alithia's treehouse.
Freudian slip there. Okay, so which direction is that? If we see it, is we going to be able to tell if it's picked up the scent, sight, whatever, of the tracks to the princess? Is it going towards more tracks of hers or not?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. So the most recent tracks of the princess were just walking with you, leaving the keep and heading to Alithia's treehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay, what I would like to do is to... I'm going to move along the wall. And Samita, make sure you're not in the way. And what I'll do is I'll start crawling along the wall top, and I'll see if I can work my way past Samita and back up onto the wall on the other side.
Can I ask a quick? Can I clarify something? Not clarify something. Basically, looking at them, can I tell what exactly they're looking for? Are they looking for tracks? Are they looking for scents? Is there anything like that that I can tell?
Hold that thought. So you want to? It'll be an insight roll, but let's deal with Zamar first. So as you head south, you find that Samita is not in fact there. So I'll remove a token, and you start moving this way. Where do you want to end up?
I'm just moving to a point where I think I can still keep that thing in range of a. So if that trees are around there and I'm in the foliage, I'll stay in the foliage.
Okay. So about there. So roll insights, Alithia.
Okay, come on. Woo! Shit. What's my plus? God, my brain is like dead. I'm sorry. I do know some of these most of the time, but right. So that is a 19.
That's pretty good. So while survival may not be your best skill, you are aware of the various things that you can do to hunt down creatures and use the world around you to track things. This rider is looking for tracks and is doing a very thorough job with a lot of experience. Just hasn't found anything yet.
The last thing I wanted to ask is it's not working. Is how far are they away from me? Because like there's an entourage. There's like 40 of them, right?
So the entourage, as far as you know from Zamar's reports, split up. So they're now all travelling solo in different radial directions from Trillin, heading either west or south.
Okay, fine. So there's only one here at the moment.
Yeah, and there's another 2 that are trotting up the hill and will be with you in a couple of minutes, but they're going to be heading out towards the forest. So they won't be coming down this road. They're going a different angle.
How far from me is this thing?
Right now, 50 feet.
50 feet, fine. How far from Zamar is this thing?
30.
Okay. God damn it. Right, what I would like to do is I would like to just tell me if it's possible, and I think I would know enough about this spell just to see, but I would like to basically cast sacred flame, but coming up straight from the sky downwards, so it doesn't give away positions.
Okay, I'm not sure you can, but I will check for you.
Yeah, because it doesn't say anything about like where the spell comes from.
Yeah. Flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. It just comes out of the sky. Target must succeed, blah, blah, blah. Instantaneous, verbal somatic. So, the only problem is the verbal somatic, but apart from that...
Yeah, I'd like to do that stealthily.
Okay.
Yeah?
So, you're going to start casting a spell, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Such a bad idea, but yeah, that's all I have.
Everyone roll initiative.
No! Sorry. I'm so sorry.
13.
13.
Once
for Reyna.
I rolled well, 18.
8.
14.
14. Samita?
10.
10. Samar?
18.
18. Right. Alright, so while the spell is how initiative starts, so Alithia will kick the round off. Adalbear will be after Alithia, and then Reyna.
I got a 30.
30.
13.
13, yeah.
Alithia got 14, no?
Oh, but I thought
They were at 18, though.
Yeah, I got 18. But I'm still last because, same up for you.
No, I see it starts at that point. Sorry. No, Matt.
Okay, yeah. It's a bit weird because Alithia's kicking the round off. So it's not really a surprise round, but I'm using that kind of style of ruling for for when things happen.
Okay.
So, Sacred Flame, the radiance, bright lights, everything is lit up.
Stealthily!
So roll stealth for your verbal somatic components.
That was really good. I'm sure that's a +2. So, yeah, it is. 18.
18.
Mm.
Okay. That may well save your life. All right. And do you want to roll the
Yeah, but it's a deck save.
against the benefit from cover? That is not a good roll.
My spell save is not very high.
Okay, so roll your damage.
Your save or not?
No, it failed to save. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Not bad. 5 points of radiant damage.
Okay, so there's a bright light that strikes downwards,
It
lights
is- wait,
everyone
can I-
up.
Can I describe what it looks like?
Sure.
Yeah. So it is a bright light. It looks like it's tinged with like magma almost. And it's got the colors of green and pink and russet running through it.
Beautiful. A beautiful beacon of light strikes downwards. The rider, the rider doesn't react that well. Doesn't kind of flinch or move, and that's why it gets full damage. It just takes it and then stands up and is going for the horse at the moment. Kevin, I don't know whether the message you just sent me is still relevant.
No. If I have if she has time to adjust, then it's no longer relevant.
And shortly after that is Adalbert.
I think Adalbert's not going to kind of. It's like he's going to use his action to kind of talk into the Hall of Echoes,
Okay.
and just say, "What the actual fuck?"
All right. Raina. Samita, sorry. I must change that in my thing.
On this part of the wall that we're on, how high is it? Roughly?
It's 12 foot high.
12 feet, okay. Okay. I will. Is it okay if I whisper you my turn?
Sure.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, directly after Samita is Harathia. Is your turn likely to affect Harathia?
No.
Okay. So go ahead, Harathia.
Yeah, so Harathia is going to say into the Hall of Echoes, if Bezio is on that ship, I want to save everything for him. That's quite restrained.
Any
just
actions from Harathia?
Nope. Well, I suppose that was his action. 'Cause it said,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You don't have bonus, sorry. Yeah. All right. So while I wait for Kevin to come through,
Did anything happen to the thing when it hit it?
it stood up. You saw some of the charred skin sort of get a bit more charred, so it does appear to have hurt it. If pain is like a nagging fly or something.
Yeah, but I'm not so worried about the pain. I'm more worried about the radiance.
It definitely damaged it. It seemed normal. It doesn't seem either resistant to it or The opposite.
Vulnerable. Okay,
Vulnerable.
fine. Fine. No, because it's an undead creature, which is why I'm just like, what? Okay.
All right. So it's now its turn. It leaps up onto its horse and puts its hands out and does a gesture, a very slow upward gesture, and immediately hands burst through the ground around you. Well, not around you, around it. And 3 corpses climb out. I'm going to use this. I just grabbed this. Same.
I've been making some tokens.
I thought that was a suitable.
Yeah, fair enough. I've slightly
Suitable one.
regret putting skulls on. That was meant to be if we killed something off.
I know. 3 corpses that appear to have been long dead push their hands out of the ground and climb up out of the soil, and you can see all the grass and the mud and everything falling off them as they shake their heads and start looking around. They also have glowing red eyes, although their bones are just the white bones of skeletons.
I'm gonna think into the. Can I do this as my reaction?
Your reaction to...
Think into the Hall of Echoes.
No, it takes an action to speak in Hall of Echoes.
Oh, it's an action. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That is its turn. But Bran is going to hold, and at the same time as Bran holds, the horse of the horse person thunders away from here. To here, taking the rider with it, and skids to a halt, and the rider is looking around. You think probably looking for the source of the bright light that hit it, because it didn't see you casting the spell or hear you.
Look at the sky.
It appears to know that a magical spell was cast on it as an attack. It definitely is looking for an enemy at this point. There is a.
Just leaving the table now. He's so fed up.
There is a crash, and everyone hears a noise at the end of the wall.
No.
A thud of something falling on the ground. That didn't go so well.
Yeah, just roll a double natural 1 with advantage.
God.
Oh dear, oh dear.
At which point, the timing's a little bit off, but having reached the end of its run, its head snaps around in the direction of the sound. We'll deal with that as we come into the next part of the round. So, Zaymar, you are up.
I'm going to lean over the wall and look down, and there's some like shrubbery and stuff down below, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay, I'm going to basically hunker down, and I'm going to quietly, very carefully reach over, Actually, I'm going to quite ask you a quick question.
All right. Alithia?
And then I'm going to reach over and start grabbing the top branches and seeing if I can move them below me.
Okay. Yes, you can.
What do I do here? A couple of things I can do. Shit. Okay. Oh, God damn it. What do I do? Fine. So I am going to. Fuck. I'm gonna. How far away from me is it?
It's about 20 feet. I can count it for you.
20 feet. And to like go in front of it, like as how do I go?
Sorry,
as far
35,
away?
35 feet.
35 feet.
Mm.
Fine. And how do I go as far away in front of me, like 30 feet in front of me, and as far away, like the point that's as far away from the both of us and Raina?
Well, you could jump down the other side of the wall and head towards the ruined keep, or you could go north and along the wall.
So I don't want to move from where I am. I just want 30 feet that way north. That's kind of midpoint between me and the skeleton.
Oh, you want
Yeah.
sort of like there?
Yeah, exactly. So there, I want to create a. I'm going to use a spell to. It's a simple sensory effect of like the sound of the ground cracking open.
And does that spell have verbal and somatic?
It does. Can I do that stealthily?
You need to roll stealth again, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, hold on, that's cocked. Sorry, I've got too many dice in here. Oh, for fuck's sake, no! It was nearly an 18! It's a 6.
All right, so the ground makes a cracking sound, sort of north of your position and in between. The rider head goes over to that sound relatively slowly, and then looks over in your direction. You haven't given yourself away completely. It just knows that there's somebody in that direction who has waved their hands and made a noise. So you're not completely visible, but it does know you're there.
Well, bye, guys. It was nice knowing you.
Adalbert?
Is it possible to move the map slide so I can see where I am in relation to it, please, Simon?
Sure. So I will zoom out, in fact. There we go.
Thank you. I suppose, have I noticed that it's now, well, things I don't know where Ellie is, so I'm not sure whether I know whether it's kind of looking. But have I recognised that it's moved away from the sound that was created and is now looking in another direction?
Yeah, everything that's happened is fairly obvious.
Yeah.
Everybody heard a sound of chanting, not because Alithia was suddenly loud, but because the background sounds just happened to drop. And Alithia didn't cover it up enough. So, yeah, you know what happened.
Okay. I was planning to do something very similar, actually, and I think I will continue to do that. So I am going to hopefully stealthily cast Thaumaturgy to kind of 30 foot north of me in the woodland.
Okay, roll stealth.
14.
Okay. And what's the thaumaturgy going to do?
The sound I'm about to do is the trees rustling as if something's moving through them very quickly.
In which direction?
Moving away from us. So it's 30 feet north of me, and the little copse of trees sticking out into the path.
Okay.
And I'd like it to sound as if the movement is going towards the town, fleeing.
Okay. Because of how difficult things are getting, roll performance.
Okay. 10.
10. Okay. It's an okay job. If somebody was suspicious that you were creating this sound, then they might recognise that it's not quite the real thing. But it's not terrible. And the head of the rider does not turn in your direction after casting the spell. Although there seems to be quite a lot of noise suddenly going on around here. As I did mention, the weather is very still now. There's no wind. There's just gentle rain. And you can hear quite happy sort of birds in the background. Everything is very peaceful. And suddenly there's a lot of strange noises left, right and centre. All right, so that was Adalbert, Samita.
Well, I've asked you a question. Can you answer that?
You could do that, yeah.
Okay. How far, like roughly how far do I judge the rider to be away from me right now?
So each square is 5 foot. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-ish, 40.
Okay. I'm going to try to sneak up towards the rope again.
To where...
To where the rope is over the wall.
Same up at the rope.
Yeah.
Just bear in mind that the rope was flicked over to the other side, so it's now
That's
on the
what I was
right-hand
afraid
side.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah, the rope is on the...
it's on the inside of the keep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will do this first, and then I'll go to the rope on the other side. I will raise my voice, make the imitation, and I will say, "You are not welcome here. Be gone, or face my wrath." And I will imitate the voice of the huntress that I have heard with my special ability to do so.
Roll. Is there a specific role for that, or is it just performance?
According to my feat, it says I have advantage on charisma, deception, and performance checks when trying to pass myself off as a different person. So
Okay.
I think it's up to you to decide which one.
So
I
performance, obviously,
Okay.
For advantage.
Right. That is a 26.
So, meta, everyone, you don't know the source of this, although it is in the direction that Samita went. However, you do think that the huntress herself, who many of you have spoken with, and some of you have spoken with regularly, has just said, "You are not welcome here."
Be gone.
So on your turns, you will have to think about how your characters will react to that as well. If you think your characters might be suspicious because it's coming from the direction of Smita, then that's fair enough. But you still have to make a roll, I think, to work out that that's what happened. Because this is so convincing that it might as well be the huntress herself.
Okay.
I'm not rolling. I'll assume it is.
I do not
Yeah, I
stick
vote
around to
bum.
see the effect, by the way. Like, the moment I'm done, like, she goes around the wall and starts heading for the rope.
Okay. Considering you've just made a very loud noise and then started moving, roll stealth with advantage.
That is a 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going for distance, mainly.
Wow, so 26 performance of the Huntress.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
The rider's head has been pretty slow to look around, but always does look around at these noises. When it hears the voice, its head moves quickly, and it kind of jerks the head of the horse as well. So it instinctively almost turns in the direction of the voice, and it looks over to where the voice came from. The red of its eyes blaze a bright white heat, and for the duration of this round, its eyes will be white. But it's not got a turn yet. It is, in fact, Harathia's turn.
All right. Rathia, having heard the Huntress, thinks that there's something going to majorly kick off here. And he's content to wait until, it kicks off before wading in. Because this is not a good situation still. So he'll hold his attack to wait for that, combat that begins, real combat that you can join in with.
Okay. Are you holding anything as a trigger?
Do you mean like, am I grabbing a weapon or anything?
From a rules point of view, are you holding a movement or an action at all?
Well, can I not hold both? Can you not move and attack, if that's your trigger thing?
No, when you ready an action, you can only either move or attack. You can't do both.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm staying put then. In that case, if because they're not within range. Okay, I mean, can I say if something comes at me, I will attack it with a sword.
Yes.
If they don't, I'll attack it with a crossbow.
You can only ready one one trigger. It's basically, the idea is you have an instinctive reaction to something happening that is instant. So it can't be that complex. That's the idea behind it. It's supposed to be a simple.
Well, it'll have to be a crossbow because I'm not moving out.
Oh, cool. So
I'm
ready.
not actually going to grab the crossbow. I'm just going to be like a gunslinger.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so that was Harathia. It's now the rider's turn. Oh boy. You have no idea what you've just done.
It's worth a try. I stand by it.
Oh, and this has all kinds of consequences. The rider actually freezes, and holding the horse, having turned it slightly and looking in that direction, it continues to look in the direction that you made that noise. And I said that the eyes would stay white, but actually they suddenly go very deep red, and it appears to be doing something internal. So it's thinking or doing something mentally. Other than that, it doesn't act. However, directly after the rider is the horse. The the horse will just rotate into the direction of the sound. The 3 skeletons that turned up, they are sort of lurching around, so they're going to head off in different directions.
No.
So they're currently doing that.
No. Oh my god, there's undead in Trillian.
Everyone roll insight.
Holy shit, man! What the hell have I done? Hold on.
That was 13.
23.
20, dirty.
3.
So, ironically, this doesn't occur to Adalbert, but those with ridiculously high rolls, the rider appears to probably be communicating telepathically with something, which is why it's suddenly become very intense and thinking hard. But that doesn't occur to Adalbert, which would be the obvious person to think about it. Bran will hold his action because Harathi is holding, and that brings us to Zamar.
I am just going to hold my action. I'm just going to stay put and see what happens. I will see if I can hear, to see if I can hear where... So, in Zamar's head, he's pretty clear that he knows pretty much where Samita is. But he thinks that maybe he called out using the Huntress's real voice. So he's just like, okay, so she can communicate with the Huntress, or, you know, and just basically acted as a mouthpiece or something. That's what he thinks.
Right
now, is that she just acts as a mouthpiece for the Huntress. But he doesn't think that that's necessarily... he doesn't necessarily think that that was like anything like summoning the Huntress or anything like that. He doesn't think that that would have happened because she'd just rock up probably. So he thinks that it's something to do with that he was making speaking through that voice. So he is pretty clear that Samita is down there, and what he's going to try to do is to listen out to see if he can hear where she is, just in case, like she's around or whatever.
Okay, roll perception normal, not at disadvantage because you're listening.
Okay, never mind. It's just too much cracking of ground and whatever Adalbert thermometer she was doing.
Plus, Samita is very good at moving quietly, so that doesn't help.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
All right, cool. There is a brief moment during this when the rider's eyes flash white again, looking in the direction of where the sound of the Huntress came from. Alithia.
I'm going to, again, I'm going to run maybe 10 feet north along the wall. Crawl, probably. And
I mean, it's your choice.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I don't have the details for it. I'll send you a message. But essentially, I want to crawl 10 feet north along the wall and then cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
Stealthy.
Okay, roll. So you've got 2 stealth rolls to make, one for crawling and one for the spell. So roll them both.
So my crawling is a natural 20, which makes it 22.
Nice.
And then my spell, fuck, is a 5, which makes it 7.
All right.
I'm gonna die.
Or at least you keep trying to after.
Yeah,
Desperately to-
after you're determined to be discovered, I'm
I know.
considering letting them kill you.
So the wall, you were hidden in foliage before. As you come out, there's a patch of wall that you can kind of duck down and keep very low, and then there's a tree in between you and the rider, and the other skeleton as it happens. And then when you get to the other position, there's another tree. So you've done quite a good job of watching where it's looking, and you timed it well. So when it looked over again at the direction of the huntress's voice, you moved and therefore sneaked perfectly. And then you cast a spell, which you sent to me, I believe. And instantly the rider and the skeleton look over in your direction.
I've not cast a spell. This is just in general. I'm asking you.
Oh, right. Do you not have that in your character sheet?
No, I don't. I've just got it as a word.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fine. I found it on online. It's fine. I've got all the deets.
All right, cool.
Good.
So what was the spell?
Guidance. On my
Sorry. Yes, you did say that. All right, so you've got guidance. You're also spotted.
You know what? I don't think guidance even helps with what I want to do. Fuck.
Adalbert, your turn.
Don't worry, Mads, because I'm about to blow everything up. Essentially, hearing the voice of the huntress kind of echo. I mean, Adalbert's on the other side. He's hiding. He has no idea where anybody else is. So I don't think he has any reason to suspect it's anything but a huntress.
Oh no.
Someone who does commune with, someone who he knows is against everyone. So he's going to take it as a sign from the huntress that they aren't welcome, as a sign to attack. So he is going to cast Guiding Bolt onto the undead rider.
It's like throwing a ball at a bunch of Skittles, isn't it?
It's like, this is a small thing. This is like a small piece of snow that picks up a pebble and then rolls a bit.
All right. So guiding bolt. Did you say?
Yes.
Okay. So what do I need to roll?
Nothing. I need to roll to hit.
Okay. Go for it.
19.
Yeah. So not only is the rider on the back of a horse and not capable of dodging very easily, but it's also not wearing much armor. It's just got a shield, so that hits quite easily.
Yeah. Okay. So then that does 5, 9, 14, 19 points of radiant damage.
Okay, cool.
And it's suddenly it's kind of now glowing in a mystical dim light.
Okay. What was the damage?
19.
19.
That's respectable.
I'll say. Oh, this is all going to kick off.
When it struck and lit up like a fairy tree, a Christmas tree, sorry, the rider's eyes, which have been sort of glowing in various emotional states, actually don't react. It's kind of, with everything that's going on, this is one of the least important things that happens to it. So it does kind of not ignore, but it doesn't pay that much attention to it. However, you did damage it. Okay.
A lot? A little bit? Is it looking rough?
No, it's basically not it doesn't look like it's affected it at all, really. Samita, you're up.
Okay. First things first, I'm going to try to climb a wall with the rope.
Okay.
Is it the same as before?
Yeah, so roll acrobatics with advantage.
Oh, that...
Zema just untied it, so you pull it.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
I was about to say, well, I mean, he might have, because I rolled an 11, even with advantage.
I'm joking.
So 11 total.
All right, so you're up on the wall. As you've said it out loud, I'll move you to back where it was.
Okay, and do I see the results of the guiding bolt, that it's sparkling? Can I deduce what's just happened, sort of? That...
Yeah, you know pretty well what's happened, I would say.
Okay, so I will... it was, of course, my action to climb, or was that my movement?
That was your movement, yeah.
Okay, so for my action, I would like to think into the Hall of Echoes, and I will say, didn't one of you say that they're vulnerable to the arcane, but not the divine? Should we not keep this in mind? And I'll leave it at that. That's my thing.
Wait, did you say arcane but not the divine?
Yes, that is what I recall as Samita from the last time that we talked about this. Someone said this, if I recall correctly, but maybe Samita misremembers, but in that case, she still says it. It's just incorrect.
Okay.
So that's my turn.
Harathia.
Can you zoom the map out a bit, because I'm not quite sure where I am in relation to...
Yeah, sure.
Right.
That's probably too much, isn't it?
I've only got 30 feet movement, ever, haven't I?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's too much.
Oh, to run up, you mean?
Yeah, I can't close an attack in this round.
No, you'd be 10 foot away.
I'm not going to expose myself, so to speak. Now, Brian, I can't see Brian because he did a really good stealth roll, didn't he?
He did, yeah. You have no idea where he is.
For a change, there's no tail sticking out from behind.
It's the first time we're at episode 14. It's the first time he hasn't failed his stealth roll. It's a good time to succeed, I guess.
Certainly is.
And last question. Owlbear's spell, is it something that shoots out from like your fingertip?
Yes.
Right, so there's a definite we're over here sort of thing. All right, in which case I'm going to prepare to attack with my sword, but only if they close this direction. And I'm going to say as softly as I can to Bran, or where Bran was last time I saw him, wait for him to come.
Okay. Yeah, Bran hid next to you, so you are aware he's there. You just can't see him in the trees. Okay. So you're holding... Did you say you're holding something?
Yes, for holding a melee attack.
Melee. Okay. All right.
Oh, where'd you go?
He's just nipped off. He'll be back.
Okay.
He's actually got invisible.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So whatever communication has occurred, the rider turns the horse and gallops off back in this direction.
God damn it.
I'll be right back.
However,
God damn it.
however, there is this corpse that just climbed out of the ground and is now heading towards you, Alithia. 5, 10, 15. I don't think it's got enough movement though. So it's now at the bottom of the wall and is looking up at you and trying to climb the wall ineffectually and stupidly. It looks like it has very little awareness or intelligence.
I'm going to. I'm so annoyed. I'm just going to be like, ugh, and then I'm just going to wait. How far away from me is the thing?
Are we still in initiative, by the way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right below you, but it's not your turn. This is Skeleton's
the
turn.
scary one. No, not the
Right.
skeleton. The Skeletor. The red-eyed one.
The red-eyed one is about 80 feet.
80 feet.
Mm.
Can I run towards it?
It's the skeleton's
not-
turn.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Sorry, my bad.
For the second time. It's not yours.
What did I miss?
At
The
least got
skeleton-
20 feet of moving in somebody else's turn.
Sorry.
The skeleton
my brain's not working.
has lurched over to Alithia, and in its stupidity is at the base of the wall trying to work out how to climb 12 foot. The other one, they were heading off in that direction, weren't they? So they're just wandering off. You currently have one to deal with. So that's the skeletons. Just to be clear, it's not your turn yet, Alithia. Zema, your turn?
Sorry, my brain's not working.
Zema?
Oh, sorry. I was too busy.
It is your turn.
Sorry, I missed that. I was too busy laughing. I'm Tim. It's like, yeah. It's like, I'm going to use my action to say into the Hall of Echoes, Alithia, leave it. Come this way.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not leaving my stealth, and I'm not saying anything else. It's being particularly ineffectual. There you go.
Alithia, it is now your turn.
Can I see any other riders coming up or anything like that?
Roll perception.
I'm gonna use a different dice. Ew. No, my phone. Sorry. God damn it. Yep, nope. That's not very good. So 9, 5 is 14.
So, while spotting the riders is hard in the dark, they do glow red. So, actually seeing their movement, because they're all trotting around, is quite easy. And you see, coming back out of the jungle that surrounds the village, all of the 40 that had started making their way into the jungle. And they're all heading to a central point. So they're all sort of coming back from their radial direction that they'd gone in. And they're all heading down to the tri-room.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I cast guidance to myself, so I'm going to stealthily run my full distance along the wall that I'm able to. How far can I go? My walking speed is 35.
Yeah, so I do stealth at half movement, so you can go at 23.
23. How far does that put me from the rider?
The rider went at 120, so I took them off the map, but
Oh shit!
you would.
Oh, okay. I thought they were 80 feet away from me. So.
Yeah, and then after saying that they're 80 feet, I remembered that I hadn't finished their movement.
Sorry.
That's my fault.
That's different then. Fuck.
They effectively started going down the hill away from your vision. Yeah.
So they're far away, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to like, carelessly cast sacred. No, how far away from me are they?
Well, if they went 120 and they were about 10
No,
feet
not them.
behind you.
The skeleton.
Oh, the skeleton is like 6 foot away from you.
Actually, no. I'll do sacred flame. Do I have to take a? Do that on a? Because it's a ranged spell. Do I have to do that with disadvantage?
I just said it's 6 foot, so it's out of melee range technically by 1 foot.
No. The skeleton that's at the bottom of this So too many skeletons. The one
Yeah.
that's at the bottom of the
This
that
one. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
You're 12 foot up from the ground, and it's
Yeah.
at the bottom, so it's kind of.
But do I have to, if I?
Doesn't it save? You don't have to roll to attack,
Oh
right?
yeah, of course. Sorry,
So you don't have to worry about that.
my brain is like literally
okay.
mush today. Cool. Yeah, sacred flame, and then I'll go towards.
All right, it is a skeleton. Oh wow! I rolled a 20.
What?
It accidentally stumbles backwards as it's trying to get up this wall, and the combination of that and the thing means
There's
that
no
it
damage.
saves. Yeah.
There's no damage.
So there's a bright beacon
Yeah.
of multicolored light, I believe you mentioned, and it strikes the ground.
I'm just going to be really irritated,
Yeah.
and then go towards Zaymar.
Okay. Adalbert?
I will. The one that's beneath, or was beneath, Ellie. So. Sorry.
Bless you.
That's nice mute.
That's it.
The skeleton that was beneath Ellie trying to attack her and just kind of fumbled out of her thing. Is it covered by the tree between us?
No, the tree gives you cover from a stealth point of view, but they're very light foliage, so it wouldn't give you much cover from a defensive point of view.
Okay. In that case,
Especially from your angle, you can pretty much see it.
And then I'll firebolt it.
All right. Okay. Roll to it.
17.
17, I believe, is a hit. Let me just check. Yes, easily.
And that does 8.
8.
Yes.
It staggers backwards. Flames catch briefly and die out quickly because it's still wet from the mud. It's shaky. Not much left to it. Samita, you've got Alithia pressing up towards you.
Yeah, I thought as much. But Samita's definitely looking over the edge. Am I also aware of that the riders seem to be going back down, at least away from us?
Roll perception. See if you can see them.
That isn't an 11 again. So an 11 total.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's actually quite easy to spot them when they're moving. So you can see all the red glimmers of their heated bones all heading down towards the ship. So you're aware that that's happening.
Okay. Then I will look over the wall at the skeleton and I will viciously mock it. And I will say, you almost make Commander Harathir look handsome. And it needs to make a saving throw. It is a wisdom saving throw against a DC of 14.
Okay, it fails.
So savage.
It fails.
It is 4 damage, so 4 psychic damage.
Okay.
And it has disadvantage on its next attack roll. If it
Please
gets to make
tell
one.
me it dies from that, please.
It actually does.
That's brilliant.
Some remnant of it remembered in its life what that meant, the embarrassment. And it just staggers, looks painfully up at the sky and drops to the ground, bits of bone and old cloth.
Sorry.
That was a sad ending to a pretty hopeless skeleton.
So it's like it's like sacred flames and fire bolts, and then it's just like, oh no, just a word here and there. Well
The best
done,
part is-
squad. We did well there. Our usurper has turned up, and they just say a word, and it just over.
Your mother was a hamster. Your father smells of elderberries.
The best part is I become visible, so for half a second, Alethea can see Samita's facial expression, which is just like really savage as she's uttering these words, like to do magical damage. And then when she sees that Alethea can see her, she just kind of like, apologies, I got carried away. You should compose yourself, and that's it.
Okay. Samita looks surprisingly elegant for someone who's on a wall. All right. We will drop out of initiative.
Zamon's going to be keeping an eye on the ship with his spyglass.
Okay. It looks like they are currently loading up the horses onto the ship.
That's it. They're fucking off. Besides, where's the fucking Huntress anyway?
I'll think at them and I'll say, actually, my apologies. And Grand Inquisitor, I think I may need to ask for your forgiveness, but that was not the Huntress, that was me.
Oh. Well, it worked.
You're
He's
telling
just
me?
silent.
You're telling me they're packing up just because they think the Huntress is here?
Wasn't that the one thing that Serene left for? She left to draw Beziel away, she said. I wonder if they're leaving to get reinforcements or something like that. It's unusual. Well, well done anyway. They seem to be leaving, so...
Where are the other skeletons? Because only one was destroyed.
The other two are heading off. You can't see them anymore because it's dark and there's a lot of jungle around here. So they've gone off into the trees.
Right. Who's got... Can I see the ship from where I am? I don't suppose I can.
You'd have to move out and then head a bit down the road, which you can do if you want.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Anyone got eyes on the ship?
Of course, the view...
What's it doing?
The view is excellent up here. There's a rope over there. Perhaps Samita can pass it to you.
I'll make sure to get the rope over to the other side again so people can climb up.
I'm gonna turn to Samita, like in awe, and be like, "Did you really just insult it to death?"
Well, you know, sticks and stones.
Is
Did you say
that what
that-
you learn at court?
In a way. The words,
Can
in
you
any
teach
case.
me?
Perhaps later, but we can try.
Did you say that out loud, Mads, or in the echo hall? Hall of echoes?
I think I said it out loud. There's no one around us. I said it out loud.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so.
Everyone roll Constitution saving throw.
Oh fuck.
Me as well?
Yes.
Yeah, my dice don't like this.
Are these things subject to my condition as well?
It's ability checks and attack rolls, I think. So no, it's a saving throw.
Attack rolls aren't subject to it. Definitely not.
13.
10.
Let's say no for now.
All right, so 19.
What was yours? Sorry, Zamor?
13.
Okay. Alethea?
8.
8. Adalbert?
8.
2.
There is a sudden, strong feeling of exhaustion and a heavy weight. Those who failed their saves are driven to the ground, to your knees if you failed by only 4. Otherwise, you are pressed down so that you fall flat on your face.
What is the DC?
Oh yeah, you'd need to know that, wouldn't you?
We're all like on tenterhooks here.
15.
15, okay.
15? If I fail by 4 or more,
Yeah.
I fail by 2.
Okay. So you're on your knees.
Okay.
Samita, you see standing above you, dressed in simple hunting clothing, with pale yellow eyes looking down at you, and a head of snakes. The huntress. She does not look pleased. And we will end the session there.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's okay. They can kill Samita. It's an NPC.
You know
So-
what? I think Beluga is going to get her wish.
So, Samita would never say this, but I just have to say from the bottom of my heart, my bad.
I don't know. It might turn out to be a very, very good. I mean, you might get squashed, but you know.
We'll see, we'll see.
Like a legit goddess. What?
Oh dear, dear.
Whoops.
Right, I'll be right back. Apologies.
Well, that's not exactly how I thought it would go, but it was fun.
You know, people before the stream were saying, I'm not chaotic. My alignment is not chaotic, so... I mean, can you still say that?
Sorry.
The thing about Simon's sandbox sessions, every now and again, we do something that absolutely Simon goes, I just need to think about that. And you see kicking off all of this like cascade where all of these plots and various other things go crashing and crumbling to the ground.
Oh my goodness, I am stunned.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Wow.
All right, before we continue, so normally at this time we would have questions for the players and myself. I've written some questions and you are free to ask questions in chat. But I think, Mads, you might want to...
I have my
something
weekly
to-
little shout out. So, yeah. So we are almost coming to the end of my dice giveaway. Our dice giveaway, we are going to be announcing it not in next week's show, but the week after. So there's a limited amount of time to join, and we are giving away beautiful dice from Beholder's Gaze. So what I've been using tonight, my big chunk, that's one of those.
Ah, cool.
So you can buy it from them, and we'll give you that as well as like a little ruined keep goodie. Let me actually send you the link. I'll put the link in chat, but please join. And each week, because we love our viewers, you have an opportunity to get. Oh, have I crashed? you have an opportunity to get 20 more entries with the secret word. The secret word this week is trireme. Yeah.
So now you just have to remember how to spell it.
Yeah. But let me work this out. That's it. And Chris is back. Hey.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna pop it in chat. So join. Yeah, it's a boat.
A Roman galleon type thing with rowing. Well, not the one that's down in the harbour. That's a decidedly weirder rowing thing.
All right, so part of the story that took a twist at the end is down to La Chasse, who kindly offered to give a message from the gods to Horatia, which we'll get to next session. Delivered directly by the Huntress. So thanks for that, La Chasse. That was good of you.
Amazing.
Thank you. It's extraordinary.
I was on the fence for a while there. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please follow and subscribe. And thanks, Bardic Dice, for subscribing. Brilliant. Very kind of you. And we will now get into Q&A. Just double check that I haven't missed any questions since I last mentioned it. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions in chat, then do let us know, and I'll ask them for you. Meanwhile, Kevin, a lot of these questions now seem irrelevant, but I'll plough ahead anyway. How does Raina feel about Zamar's curiosity shown recently?
Gosh, sorry, my head is completely full from this session. What curiosity would that be?
From last session. So last session, Zamar started to show quite a lot of curiosity in what you were writing and started asking questions, etc.
Well, I think, she didn't notice him, but just the general interest from him. I think she views it as very natural because she kind of reciprocates, from a professional standpoint. I think that they're both sort of the spies eyeing each other across the room, and I see what you're doing. I don't know what it is, but I see it, and then looking at each other that way. So I think she's she would expect nothing less, and in fact, if he wasn't interested, I think she would hold it against him in a way. So
all right.
Yeah.
A question for the DM in chat by Chaotic Stupid Media.
Who's that?
Who's technically a player, but anyway, the question for the DM: what was your internal reaction when Samita imitated the Huntress? My reaction was, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was genius. I thought it was a great idea, and I knew it was going to cause me endless heartache and trouble. But I was looking forward to trying to decide what that does, and I'm glad that I now have a week to think a bit more about it. But
Let's go, dude.
yeah, there are very good reasons why she has indeed turned up. All right. Question for Matt. If Adalbert had to prioritize curing corruption, leading the Astravi, or finding out more about the world, what order would he put them in?
Probably curing corruption first and foremost. Not only is it kind of something good to do, but that shit gets you down on records and statues and all the history books.
Right.
Yeah, definitely cure corruption. Savior. I mean, they just name cities after him. Oh, wonderful.
Unless they were corrupted and then they couldn't remember, and they all come and go, I'm corrupted, and they don't remember.
Well, it's okay. I'll make sure of them. I have cured you now. You will remember me. Donations in this box. Or the statue to me. With the other two, I think probably then be exploring the world, building on that knowledge, discovering the other secrets and what he can, and leading the Astravi, probably third.
Okay. Question from Bardic Dice for myself and everyone. So let's answer each of us. How does it feel having the best D&D stream on Twitch? Well, it's very kind of you to say so. Love all of you and your fun shenanigans. Yeah, we certainly had shenanigans today. That's very kind of you, Bardic Dice. Very cute. Thank you for being with us. I hope you feel better. And yeah, I don't know about the best on Twitch, but I'm very proud of what we do, and I think these players are amazing. That's how I feel. So thanks everyone for playing as well as you do and giving me such a fun ride every time. Mads, do you want to go?
Respond to that. You know what? I love our stream, but also every time I kind of watch, I'm blown away by the talent, creativity. We have our very own Tales of Idea right here. Wait, how do I point? There? Am I
just everywhere?
No.
Yeah.
I can
No, pointing this way. There. There. Anyway, we've got our very own Tales of Idea. We've got Bardic Dice joining us here. We had Beluga. We've got Titanamaki, who is going to be doing a Ghibli style one, which I'm so excited for. So that's really, really kind, but also it is amazing what is out there in our little community, and it's so nice to be a part of that.
Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a hell of a compliment from Bardic Dice, and I mean, like you, and probably like everyone, I think we put out a pretty decent show, and it's mainly down to Simon for inventing the entire universe. I don't want to give too much away there, but yeah, which is just a pleasure to play in. So, although I do have a bone to pick with you, because I feel like I've been knackered for about 4 sessions. And it's starting to make me feel tired. So, but yeah, no, it's just fantastic. And there's an awful lot of talent going on in other streams, and to be counted among them is an achievement in itself.
Mr. Harris?
Aww.
I'm just glad we got this out there.
Yeah.
It was a long time of playing this without a live stream and just sort of practicing and sort of doing that. But again, I think I would. So first of all, thank you. Obviously, it's been very, very kind. But I think for me, I'm just really excited to sort of get Simon's sandbox style world out there, and I think you probably just saw one of the key things that makes his worlds just that little bit more amazing than, I mean, everybody loves their DMs and stuff like that, but having played with Simon for so long, that was probably I think that was probably one of the key sort of things that I was hoping to get that other people would see, is that sometimes you can drop a stone into the water and the riffles will go out. And that's not an easy thing to work out. It's you have to have that knowledge, that planning and everything to be able to work out those things and see what happens. And so I think you've probably seen exactly what I think is great. But but thank you very much indeed. So yeah. Oh dear, I don't know about fun shenanigans though. I was sweating the entire time. I was like this the entire time. God.
And finally, our guest, Kevin.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, I honestly I agree. I was watching you guys before I joined, and getting to guest here is pretty much the highlight of my week outside of my own stream. And you guys are amazing, and the story and the world and the characters, it's just brilliant. And you know, I love every moment that I get to be here, but I'm also looking forward to just going back and watching, because it's super fun to just hang out and watch you guys go through this story. And it's such an incredible story that, you know, getting to be in it is awesome, but also getting to just watch it and enjoy and see as it unfolds is incredible. So yeah, I completely agree.
Which is a fabulous compliment coming from
a really good stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I love
Brilliant,
watching
you know.
yours. Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, do check out Bardic Dice's own stream.
Yes.
Which the chat is just insane, brilliant, love it. Really interesting story as well, and great characters from all the 4 players. And Tales of a Deer on Sunday as well, with Kevin as DM. And
Don't fall in the acid pit.
Yeah.
That's all I would say. Like,
I mean, the best thing you can say about anything of high quality is that every stream is different. So you get different things from each of them, which I think is great. All right, rolling on to more questions. Mads, question for you. What was it the princess said that upset Alithia the most last session?
God, I was really annoyed with her, and I can't remember what it was about. It was, God damn it, my brain is like literally, I am so tired at the moment, and like I've not kind of sorted my life out since I've been on night shift, so I'm just like,
she allude that you were some kind of peasant or something like that. I can't remember. It was something about status or
it was.
something. I can't remember.
She said that she was not surprised that you had spiders in your head.
Oh yeah, I said. Oh yeah. I said I had bugs in my head, and she was not surprised. I was like, "Excuse you." That was it. Yeah, no, like I'm sorry, but that is just like I can't even articulate how rude that is. And like I understand with like courts, and you know, there are all these kind of like snipey comments, but that is just flat out rude and mean.
Even if we all think it, we don't say it.
God.
The difference between royalty and not. Yeah.
Oh my God, no! Like, I'm sorry. Why would someone think you've got bugs in your head? That's such a random thing.
All right. Question for Mr. Roberts. Do you think subtlety is something Harathia might develop in certain social situations?
I don't think. Well, social situations, doubtful. I tell you what, though, this session has been one of the most difficult ones because he's having to show restraint. Well, he feels he has to.
I was so impressed. Yeah.
Because this one out of 40 of these things is clearly taking quite a bit of damage, and although he's pretty sure he can take it out, that's just one. And how much damage is he going to take before the other 39 descend upon him? So he can be, well, he can seem reckless, but in actual fact, he's not. And to have to sit there and hold in all this pent-up violence, it's really difficult. So social situations, I don't know. I think I'll leave that to viewers to decide, because his approach to social situations tends to be just as forthright as his approach to combat.
Okay. We've also got a great question from Lashas, who partly caused a lot of trouble tonight.
Oh my God.
Question for Harathia. Does it bother him that someone straight up died because they were compared to him?
Probably not. It's just the way. It's the actual comparison was you're making Harathia look pretty, effectively. He's got no desire to be pretty, but if that's enough to kill someone, I don't know.
We'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, he won't, and that's probably the thing that he's dreading the most, the banter.
Yeah, fair.
I can imagine what Adelbear is going to say to that. He is loving it.
Yeah.
Well, Albert's just kind of stewing because he did all the hard work, burning this thing to smithereens. So just could blow on it and kill it. Oh.
A slightly extraordinary situation where obviously Baratheon is the only one who doesn't do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mind blown. I have to go outside and scream for a couple of minutes.
Mr. Harris, I've got a question for you from last session, but you feel free to answer it considering this session as well. How much admiration does Zamar have for Rayna now?
To begin with, so he does. There's a part of him that thinks, well, I probably could have done a bit better. Even though it's like when it comes to things like that, he's like, I didn't know that you could do that. And he's definitely has a great deal of respect for anybody who can, because he understands like the what you have to do to the level of skill that it requires to imitate somebody, and to, the training and so forth. So he's definitely very, very impressed. From a technical point of view, he's kind of like, he does realize that was incredibly good, and there's part of him that's like, probably could I do better? So he's a little bit competitive. And he's also slightly annoyed that he didn't think of it in some ways, but he's kind of like, he has attempted to he has met the Huntress before, but it didn't ever occur to him. He's tried to imitate other people that he's met, but it never occurred to him ever to actually try to imitate the Huntress, even though he knows what she looks like. And so he's like, I had no idea about that. So it's kicked off a whole bunch of like ideas in his head that's been cascading down now. Yeah, very dangerous.
Yeah, I wonder if she'd be in trouble because you're not one of her followers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah.
More trouble.
More trouble.
No idea.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, question for Kevin. What does Rayna feel about the princess at the moment? As much as you can answer that.
I think primarily within the situation that we found ourselves in at the start of this session, concern. And more concern after some of them speculated that these riders might be here to find the princess. There's just, I think right now it is very much just overwhelming concern. And that's kind of a really good excuse to push away the more complex questions that are waiting down the road. So she's just kind of like, okay, we just have to deal with this now, and everything else can just wait until the magical tomorrow that never seems to come.
All right.
Yeah.
Question for Matt. Adelbear has expressed excitement about dragons. How does he feel about what looks like undead?
A bit blasé, Just been there, seen there, done that. I think for him, dragons were so exciting because they were meant to be extinct. And it's just the possibilities of rediscovery could mean for not only for science, but for the arts and for literature and just kind of the world in general. Whereas kind of undead, he's seen kind of remains before. He knows his brother has. It's just a bit of a nuisance, really.
Okay. Question for Mads. Alithia seems a lot more disgusted by corruption than the concept of undeath. What is it about corruption that creates such a strong emotion?
I suppose it's so death is a part of life, and like undeath is a perversion of it, but so undeath is like a perversion of death. Corruption is like a perversion of life. And and that is a lot more like, icky. I'm sorry, words.
No,
Articulation.
icky is fine.
You made your point. That's good.
Yeah, makes sense. Question for Mr. Roberts. I'll make this the final round of questions. Does Horatia get more grumpy when he's exhausted?
Yeah. Yes, he does. If possible. I mean, I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but yes. I mean, I absolutely feel grumpy on his behalf, and I hope it comes off that way.
Yes, it does. Final question for Mr. Harris. What did Zamar want to get out of the oncoming fight?
His life still intact. I think. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that the thing that he was just worried that like Horatia was going to like kick something off and just bite off more than he could chew, and he was going to end up with no party members left because he would have legged it. So, I don't know. Every time he sees something though, he does feel like he's adding a little bit more knowledge because this, like what happened this evening was really good because we got to encounter one of them and actually understand a little bit without actually having too much bad stuff happen to us, which clearly could have. So, we saw it hit by a few bolts, we saw it like scanning, we understood how far its silence could travel. We got lots of information out of this, and he's quietly storing it away so that he knows how far to run away and how quickly.
Run away.
All right, final question for Kevin. Raina also seemed calm as she went invisible. How important was it to her that she could hide?
Incredibly. It's literally the source of her calm, being able to disappear like that. I think nobody would be surprised, and I think she would admit it even, so I wouldn't even consider this metagaming, that she would have left if things had turned very badly against the party. Like, there's nothing stopping her from walking away because she has a higher mission, right? She has a mission to report to the Empress, and if Trillin is under attack or devastated by this attack, then she wants to make sure to be the one to report it. So.
Now what's she going to say?
Yeah. Well, if she has a tongue left to speak with next week, we'll find out.
Well,
I mean, the Empress
incredibly jealous of your invisibility as well.
Right, final
follower of the Huntress. Maybe she'll come.
Yeah. Final question for Matt. How frustrating was it for Adalbert that Horatia and Zamar knew about Beziel but hadn't shared?
I think annoyingly he's slowly getting used to them not telling him things. I think he still doesn't quite have a grip of who Beziel is or why they'd be important. Apart from what kind of Zamar said last week, they met him before, he's a bad guy. So I think at the moment it's not that frustrating because he's just used to, he hasn't been around in the group as long as them. So while they may know a few little tidbits here and there, he has a world of information that he gives them, so it's fine.
All right, and last question of the evening for Mads. How comfortable is Alithia with the idea of fighting alongside the gang now?
It really depends on the situation of what it is. I don't know if I've said this on stream or not, but basically, Alithia, it's quite fun to do stuff, to be active and engaged. But at the same time, it's difficult when it could be something that is, it's difficult because these things are like really deadly and she doesn't want to die. The other thing is it's difficult when you're not sure how good or whatever they are. For example, if it were a dead child, I think she'd have a lot more difficulty with that than a skeleton. So it really depends on the circumstance.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's all the questions for tonight. So we'll end the stream there. Thanks again for joining us. So next session. So next week, Adalbert and Matt and Mads both can't make it. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on night shifts, guys. I'm so sorry.
So I was, depending on what happened to, tonight, I was going to make a call as to whether we would go ahead with the stream. I still don't know, to be honest, exactly what it would look like. Because it'd be nice to have Adalbert and Alithia there for this next section, but it's not crucial because the Huntress has turned up for Samita and Horatia, so we could have some of
I've
that
done nothing.
separately. Yeah, well, things. So yeah, I haven't decided yet, but regardless, we'll have something on next week anyway. It just may not be a Ruined Keep episode, so we'll see. But we'll definitely stream next week. It just may not be the Ruined Keep. But thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, can I do my little shout outs before
Yeah,
we
go
leave?
for it.
Before we raid. If we're raiding, I don't know, boss. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you follow on Twitch. You subscribe if you like us. You follow us on YouTube if you want to for video on demand. Follow us on Twitter to speak with me when I'm not like exhausted and a zombie myself. Follow, like us, throw them like confetti. What else? We have a Discord. Join the Discord. We have Prosecco, apparently.
Not champagne, I'm afraid.
No.
And virtual Prosecco.
Virtual Prosecco. And also, as always, thanks to all of the creators and supporters who are out there on social media, including Kevin and Tales of a Deer, and all of you guys in our chat, and everyone who interacts with us on Twitter, and everyone on Hopes for TTRPG Discord, and everyone in the Tabletop TV project, and everyone who kind of engages with TTRPG Solidarity. There we go. Lots of stuff. Anyway, thank you, everyone. We love you very much. Oh no, that's stolen from something else. Anyway, but yeah.
You can't steal loving people. All right, so yeah, we'll raid check these out. I'll start that now. Thanks once again for joining. And we'll see you next week for something.
Yeah.
We'll have something.
Ta-ta.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.